Now, he has been dubbed the man of 1,000 voices. Keith Scott has devoted his life to impersonating famous people, from old school actors and singers to cartoon characters and politicians. We are very pleased to make Keith Scott welcome to Studio 10. Woo! Yeah.
Hello, one and all.
Oh, it's so fabulous to have you on the couch, Keith. While other kids were hoping to grow up as firefighters and police officers and astronauts, you always wanted to be a voiceover artist.
Crazy voice man, yeah. As a kid, I don't know why, but my ear was just attracted to doing all these voices. That when I was first one I ever did was a cartoon character from the old Huckleberry Hound show. It was Mr. Jinx, who hated those miserable mistyped Mises to pieces, you know.
Oh, wow.
And it just kind of snowballed from there, doing all these crazy things like, ended up being the voice of Bullwinkle J. Moose. That was the first adult cartoon.
Oh, my God. And Blinky Bill, you did Blinky Bill.
Well, I did all the male characters on Blinky Bill because Robin Moore was Blinky. They always get a female actor to do little boy characters because of the pitch of the voice. And sort of like with the Bart Simpson situation.
But I was all the male ones. I was Wombo the Wombat. Who don't you call me Blinky, you little...
And then
Flap the Platypus, which was like an Australian Daffy Duck.
And Splodge the Kangaroo. Well, we based that voice on Dr. John Hewson when he was the opposition leader. And then really exaggerated it.
And you got your big break in Hollywood with a very, very funny film, George of the Jungle.
Yes. In fact, Gary Owens, who just died this week, was this great announcer on Laugh-In. And I based the voice on sort of... And now George is swinging through the jungle. He is swift, he is sure. He is unconscious.
That's so cool.
And then you became the Looney Tunes voice.
Yeah, I was very pleased about that because when just after Mel Blanc passed away, they were setting up Warner Brothers Movie World up on the Gold Coast, and
so I got to be the rabbit duck, and all the other ones like Daffy Duck.
And Yosemite Sam!
and I see Foghorn Leghorn boy, and all of those great.
What about Sylvester? Were you ever Sylvester or Tweety Pie?
Well, I thought you meant like Sylvester Stallone. Adrian, it's me, Rock.
No,
I did.
Fluffer and Succotash. How is a pussy cat going to get some fluffiness around here?
You also did the voice of Dexter, the robot, on Channel 10.
Yes, I was Dexter the robot on Perfect Match.
Well, you've done that now. How does it compare to the old days?
Yep, that's right.
Because your perfect match with a compatibility score of 67% is Lindsay Day.
And now, of course, I do the same thing for your compatibility rating, Malcolm Turnbull, as...
It's funny because watching you do these voiceovers, it's obviously extremely physical. You have to get your mouth and your tongue and everything warmed up.
It is truly a form of character acting, except you're not basing it on a type, you're basing it on a real person if you're doing impressions. You know,
do you go around listening to people's voices and thinking, oh, that's a good voice, I'll have a go at that one?
Always, and always looking for new ones, because since the internet, a lot of voices have become more, I guess, just flat, and everyone kind of sounding the same, especially in TV dramas. You know, they're all kind of underplaying. So you look for the larger-than-life ones like Ian McKellen in Lord of the Rings.
A wizard is never late, Frodo Baggins. Neither is he early. He arrives precisely when he wants to.
Or a character guy like Alan Rickman in the Harry Potter movie.
Turn to page 394.
I feel like I'm sitting next to Professor Snape. I'm terrified.
Will you tell me the difference between an animagus and a werewolf?
Oh, wow.
So it's always looking for distinctive ones. That's why it's difficult with politicians now, because,
you know, in the old days you had these larger-than-life people like Bob Hawke. Oh, no, you still love me, and so do I.
But now Tony Abbott's like everything... look, I will admit, I did a captain's call when I made a knight of Sir Philip, the monarch formerly known as Prince.
What about Sean Connery while you're there?
Yes, of course, everybody. Everybody knows I was the first actor to play James Bond. But judging by what came after me, I was also the last.
So far, you've only done Earthlings. What about interplanetary species? What about Star Wars?
Oh, I love all the Star Wars, the original Star Wars.
C-3PO. How about?
At last. Where have you been? They're heading in this direction.
Where are those transmissions you intercepted? What have you done with those plans?
What about
Damn asthma.
Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Come here, my little friend. No, not him.
Alec Guinness one.
Sir Alec Guinness, where are you? Obi-Wan Kenobi. We must build that bridge and... No, I'm in the wrong movie.
David Attenborough is another favourite of yours.
David Attenborough, of course, is one of the most distinctive voices of them all. The Australian summer, the familiar soundtrack. Every year we hear the cacophonous cicada, the strident squawk of the lorikeet, and the most annoying sound of all, yes, the climactic service interruptus of the Sharapova.
What about Prince Charles?
It saves us a lot of money in advertising to have you around. Because I remember you in studios 30 years ago, and we'd go, oh, we can't afford Jack Nicholson. Somebody get paid him.
Where did you learn to talk like that? And you said Prince Charles?
Yeah,
well, you know, of course, he's been very topical in this country. Because I remember 40 years ago, when I met Molly Meldrum, I said, what an extraordinary coincidence. My mother's an old queen, too. Can I get away with that?
An absolute genius. Keith Scott, thank you very much for joining us.
That's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very nice people. Thank you.